My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. I've worked, I don't know, about 10,000 cases. I'm a national expert in IRS tax resolution, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I try to pull back the curtain and let you know how IRS works cases. I've done this so much, and I've helped a lot of people over the years. So if you're a YouTuber, most of you want to do stuff by yourself, that's fine. For those who don't, I'm welcome. You can call for a consultation. But today I want to talk to you about the IRS final notice. It comes sometimes in a CP 504. There's kind of like a misnomer. It's not the final notice. So the thing I want to tell you about is don't call IRS when you get a final notice. That's the last thing. So the final notice does not mean final notice. It looks like it does. And IRS's job is to scare you, and it does a good job. Most people contact me when they receive the CP 504 notice. So what happens? Taxpayers who don't pay their tax, or sometimes they're not aware IRS is sending them bills, and that happens a lot because people move and they don't notify IRS, and those cases still wind up in the service center. You start out with the CP 2000, then a CP 501, 6 weeks later a CP 503, 6 weeks later final 504. So you don't want to call IRS with that notice. That's the last thing you want to do. You're actually going to get another notice, the 1058 or LT11. That's when you call IRS. If you call IRS when you get that 504 notice and tell them you can't pay, you just started the collection process way, way early. When you get the 504, you want to be prepared when you get the 1058 letter to go ahead and either file a collection due process or to give IRS your financial statement to close your case out. What we recommend you do is when you receive your 504 notices, find out how IRS is going to evaluate your case. If you want to know how IRS is going to evaluate your case, this is what they're going to do. They're going to take you and they're going to give you a current financial statement that they use. It's called a 433F if the case is at the service center. It's a 2-page form. You can see it you can get it at irs.gov. IRS is going to evaluate that case and say this is how we're going to close your case. And generally, there's two methods at this level. They can put you into currently non-collectible, or they can get you into a payment agreement. What does currently non-collectible mean? It means that at the time, you can't pay the tax. But so what's the good news and bad news? You think, oh, that's great news. Well, penalties and interest still run, and the case is going to come out in 2 or 3 years later to re-review. Plus, they're going to take your refunds. As a little side note, a little caveat, if you adjust your W-4, they're not going to get your refund. The other way is they're going to set you up on a payment agreement. So the thing that people do not understand is that IRS has a means of evaluation that they use on all people, and that's called the National Standard Expenses. What that means is that when you provide IRS your income, IRS goes ahead and says, well, we have standards that you must keep in the county that you live in. That is the big oh, what are you talking about? You're going to give IRS your expenses? IRS says, we're not going to allow those. We have created a standard set out by the Department of Labor. They're used by the trustee in bankruptcy, and they're going to use that to evaluate you. So if you have $6,000 in expenses, IRS may deem you only need $5,000 to live on. If they deem you only need $5,000 to live on, then you're going to give them $1,000 a month. So when you go ahead and get that 504, if it's a small case and you have absolutely nothing, you know you're broke, and you live on modest means, you can call them call them yourself. If you're making $5, $6, $7,000 and up, you better call a tax professional to get this financial statement in order to go ahead and get yourself a better settlement or a deal with Internal Revenue Service. Many of you may qualify for the Offer and Compromise program. I taught that program at the Internal Revenue Service. They use the same type of standards for the Offer and Compromise program. So whatever you do, what I would do is get that information, and I wouldn't call the service center. I would file a collection due process hearing, because it gives you one person that will work your case 3 or 4 or 5 months later, an appellate officer, rather than deal with the 1-800 mess. So after you get the 504, you can wait out till you get the 1058, and then when you file for your collection due process hearing, very simple. You can just wait it out, and at that time you can give them the financial information after you've learned about what to give them. Thank you very much for listening to my YouTube channel. I really love if you just like what I'm doing or subscribe. It helps me know that I'm doing a good job. And also, if you leave a comment and say, Michael, would you speak to us about this? I'm happy to do that. My YouTubes come a result of people leaving comments on my pages. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate you.